As you can see, the tools can be found on the LS Electric America website. Under the support and services panel, there's a drop-down area. You'll see both the crossover tool and the product finder. So those will lead you right there, and it's on our main site. The LS Product Finder, it's a website that uses criteria to find item codes and information like prices and things like that, and product descriptions from within LS Electric America. As you can see on the right-hand side, I've got a list of our products, or the categories, and I've broken down into low voltage circuit breakers, motor control components, and then drive and automation products. And we'll dive a little bit deeper into those as we go on. So it is recommended that you log in to the product finder, although you don't necessarily have to. You can still get information without logging in. It'll just be slightly more detailed with the login information. Again, not mandatory. And if you need to sign up, if you're looking at the login screen, it says sign up, and that'll walk you through it. It'll still work just as fine without it, though. So a good portion of being able to properly navigate the product finder is really knowing what product category you want and the criteria that goes with it. Things like voltage and coil data and amperage and trip curve and breaking speed. Without some of those key ingredients, you just won't get the information that you want. Like coil data, especially. I've talked to some reps and people over the phone where they're trying to find across a product, and they find that they just can't do it because they lack the coil data, or they can't narrow down their options because they don't have the right amperage. And that will it's really sort of fundamental in moving forward. Let's see, what else we got? So here, let's do a real world example of of trying to find a breaker. So here's what you need. If you look to the right-hand side, here's what you need to narrow down your search. You need frame size, breaking, the trip unit, the current, the number of poles, the type of terminal, and the suffix. I will say that the suffix isn't as important, but things like poles and breaking and current are all essential. So there we go. So let's say we want a breaker with a breaking capacity of 65 kA at 80% with 150 amps and 3 poles. Once we put all that into the system, we're going to find that we need to find what kind of trip unit we want. There are multiple options here, and at that point, it really does get, because if you were to just leave it at 65 kA, 80%, 150 amp, 3 pole, it's good, but you still have like 10 options available. So you really need to be able to narrow it down, and with that comes information. The more information you have, the better. So there are quite a few choices on the terminal with the MCCB as well. There's lugs line side, lugs line load side, or lugs load side. And again, this will differ per case, but knowing that will make sure that you have the correct item. We've had many cases in the past where people have ordered the item, but it was the wrong part because things like lugs line side and lugs load side and the terminal were just incorrect. So always make sure you have the information going in. I know I keep repeating that, but I really can't stress that enough, because with the wrong information, you could find that you order the wrong product and it just causes complications. So always go in informed. But yeah, this will be the final step in the process, because once you've figured out the terminal, then you can get a result pops up. So as you can see, I didn't choose a terminal, which gave me, I now have 4 options. So if you want a fixed magnetic trip unit, you still have many options, and it's really a matter of narrowing those down. So again, sometimes when you call me, I will tell you that we need more information, and you know, I give you a whole list. This is why. You have to find the terminal type to get the final results. Let's do another real world example. Say you want to cross the Schneider contactor. So we have all the information here from their website. Non-reversing 9 amp, 5 horsepower, 40 volt, 3-phase, 3NO, 120 volt AC, 50-60 hertz coil. So we go into the category. We go into the product finder and find the right category. And a lot of the first step we do to find it based on amperage. So if you want a, if you want a 100 amp contactor, it'd be MC100A. For a 12 amp, it'd be MC12A. Those are really the key factor to point you in the right direction to just get you started. For our example, we're looking for a 9 amp, so MC9A will be our starting point. Next, we're going to match it with a 120 volt AC 50-60 hertz coil. There's going to be a lot of information on the coils, so just make sure you pick the right one. And again, if you get the wrong coil, it's going to change the product drastically, so make sure you have it. And then the main contact, the 3-pole 3NO. I will say look at the contactor information quite closely, because once you've filled out the top, you may not have as many options for the contactors as before, because it's basing the contactor results on the information that you've given it before. So if you're looking for a 4-pole or 2-pole or things like that and just not showing up, it's because it's no longer within the criteria that you put in. It's just not available. And again, digging deeper into this, we found that it's a 1NC auxiliary contactor. So this leads us to a single result. So as you can see, we've got one result, we've got an item code, and now we have a description. Once you've got that, though, you can dig a little bit deeper. So the product finder actually allows users to download data sheets and CAD information. This is great for people trying to see whether or not it'll fit in their panel or get much deeper results on all the information for the breaker, the contactor, things like that. So first, to make sure you don't get everything, you click on the product, make sure the checkpoint is there, and then there are 2 boxes here at the bottom. There's CAD data to the right and data sheet sort of in the middle. And clicking on those, the data sheet will give you full specs for the item. You can save it both, you can print it out or save it as a PDF. And then the CAD button is a little bit different approach, but you gotta click the CAD button. As you can see, you have to wait for a little bit to download the file, and then make sure it's installed. Download it as a zip file for you. We have a lot of people asking about CAD information, and this is a very great resource to have. We have some things in our knowledge base, but this fills in those gaps as well. So next we're going to talk about the crossover tool, which is new. Something we've been working on and just sort of debuted. So the crossover tool was designed to let users cross-reference competitor products directly with LS Electric. So instead of searching by product criteria like we did before, you can search based on a company's other product. I will say, because we are still in the early development, it's not as robust as it's going to be in the future, but the more information is coming all the time. So let's dig into that a little bit. So this is actually essential. In order to use the crossover tool, you have to register. It will not let you access it without registering. So I'm on the admin for that. So once you register, I'll be notified, and you'll be sent an approval message with your new password that I'll assign to you. After that, you'll have open access. So it does work best when you've got the vendor's item number ready. It's all right to have a partial number as well, but your results won't be as complete. So the very first screen will tell you, ask you for the vendor's item number, and then just simply click yes or no. If you don't have it, you'll be redirected to the product finder. So we're going to make sure that you always have tools handy. So right now, these are the vendors that we have available. As I said, it's not complete, but getting more robust every day. So if you've got a vendor that you would like to see, definitely let us know and we can start putting products on that list. Yeah, choose your product type from the drop-down list. As you see, we've got contactors, MCCBs, MCBs, and tours. And so based on the input product, you will get an LS product results. I used a Eaton MCB with product number FAZC1 /1SP from Eaton, and we got a number of results based on that. If results aren't found, then we'll get a tech support, we'll get an email notifying us to find and add the product. Be patient with us. We're doing this as an ongoing process, so we will be adding products as fast as we can. And with that, before we start questions though, I would like to show you where to find, show you an actual example of where to find the tools. So can you see? Yeah, see my screen? All right, so for the product finder, as you can see, it's, well here, let me go to where it's just elselectricamerica.com, and under support and services, there's that, and we go with the product finder. I'm assuming most of you are in North America, so do North America. I log in first, so bear with me. Once you're logged in, and as you can see, you've got all the tools we talked about. Next is the product crossover tool, and that can be found at lscrossovertool.heroku.app. And you would log in that way.
I think it's like linked on our main website.
And it is linked on our main website as well. And right where I just showed you. So with that, does anyone have any questions?
Either type it.
Oh, okay. So you guys can either raise your hand or type it. I'm afraid you guys are muted. We'll give it a couple of minutes for questions, and if there are no questions. Oh, all avenues for finding CAD data. We've got the knowledge base where you can find CAD data, but as I said, if you go on to, let me minimize this.
Pick out like a breaker.
Yeah, so
and the product finder to show how it pops up.
all right. So here, let me show you guys how to find. So say you're in a breaker, and I'm just going to put in a bunch of more or less random criteria. Yeah, so that's, and then if you see the CAD data here, click on that. And as I said, the box will show up. Click and wait a while to download the file. And then you can click on it and it'll start downloading the CAD data to zip file. So yeah, thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.